Since the weekend of April 2nd, the buzz in China has been about Zhang Jike, a leading table tennis player in China's sporting circles. His scandal has continued to unfold, and there is no sign of it cooling down. In China, when a celebrity scandal suddenly becomes a social phenomenon and the highest political and legal authorities start to intervene, it has gone well beyond a mere scandal in the ordinary sense and must be linked to some bigger operations in society. Zhang Jike is the star player of the men's national table tennis team. Table tennis is considered the national ball by the CCP, and Zhang is regarded as the third Grand Slam player in the history of Chinese men's table tennis. In 2016, through his performance in the Rio Olympics, Zhang quickly became an internet sensation. In 2017, Sports Weekly published a list of the fortunes of Chinese athletes, and Zhang ranked second with 60 million yuan or US 8.72 million in assets. In March 2018, Zhang made public his romance with actress Jing Tian on his Weibo News. However, the two broke up in June 2019. The current news stems from an old case that happened a few years ago. Zhang Jike owed Mr. S a gambling debt of 5 million yuan or about US 720,000, which he was unable to pay. For some reason, Zhang sent private footage of his ex-girlfriend Jing Tian, who is also a well-known movie star, to S to cover the debt. Mr. S immediately took the video and blackmailed Jing Tian in private around December 2019, demanding her pay off the gambling debt of 22 million yuan or about US 3.2 million for her ex-boyfriend. The debt was later reduced to about US 2.47 million. Jing Tian ended up calling the police. In December 2020, Mr. S was sentenced to 7 years in prison for blackmail. All parties in this case were quiet and stayed low-key at the time. The public hardly knew about it. But this old case was suddenly posted on a forum on March 29, 2023 through a Weibo account in the form of screenshots. Zhang Jike's studio issued a statement threatening to sue the person who spread the story. After a few hours, a little-known reporter, the chief reporter of the Economic Observer, spoke up. On March 31st, this journalist posted through his Weibo account, "Based on some of the judicial documents I saw and got hold of a few years ago, it is true that Zhang Jike passed on Miss Jing's private video to others." Since then, from the afternoon of March 31st to April 1st, this reporter posted continuously. The core information is mainly that the judicial materials show that Zhang Jike leaked a total of 3 private videos. He owed a debt of 5 million in IOUs, but only repaid the debtor 1 million yuan, and the IOU is still in the hands of the debtor and his family. Then, the most damaging information released by this reporter was a picture of a loan contract, signed and hand-stamped by Zhang Jike, amounting to 5 million yuan. The matter has evolved so far that table tennis prince Zhang Jike, using the video of his celebrity ex-girlfriend to cover his gambling debts, has basically been judged to be true by online public opinion. A storm of controversy has formed. Soon after, netizens uploaded several screenshots of chats between relevant entertainment and sports stars, showing that Zhang had borrowed money from other celebrities, and they weren't small amounts. He was reluctant to repay the money, and the creditors usually had to work very hard to get their money back. The actress Jing Tian was once known as the flower of fortune in China's entertainment industry. Her background is a mystery, hence is ridiculed by netizens as the 8th wonder of the world. In 2011, just after Jing Tian graduated from the Film Academy, she acted as the heroine of many movies, letting big stars like Chow Yun-fat and Jackie Chan play supporting roles for her. For example, in 2016 in The Great Wall, directed by China's most famous director Zhang Yimou, Jing Tian was the only actress surrounded by international film and television big names, including Hong Kong's Andy Lau, Taiwan's Eddie Peng, and American movie star Matt Damon. But the interesting thing is that with so many resources, Jing Tian didn't become popular. The Hong Kong Apple Daily reported that Jing Tian's backer was a middle-aged man named Lu Zheng, who is also a shareholder of Wanda Group. In 2017, it seemed that the relationship between Jing Tian and Mr. Liu was no longer close. In 2017, Jing Tian changed her image of being high and aloof from the public. In particular, her live video of washing her face made her feel like a friendly girl next door, and many netizens praised her as cute. One netizen wrote, "I used to think Jing Tian had a dedicated person to wash her face." In 2018, news broke that Jing Tian and Zhang Jike were in love. A year later, in 2019, they broke up in a flash. Now fans have dug up Jing Tian's mood expressed in TV interviews and social media in 2019. She said that she experienced the darkest moments of her life in 2019 and couldn't leave her home at all because of depression. She wrote, "Did every girl experience a feeling of sinking into the deep sea and being unable to breathe while growing up? I think Tong's strength was innate. It was a rebound from being overwhelmed and pushed to the bottom. It's also the self-protection after experiencing countless heartbreaks. Tong in the drama world redeemed me in the gray world. I love her and I have multiple feelings." Fans believe that Jing Tian at the time not only described the mood of breaking up with Zhang Jike, but also that she was heartbroken by the betrayal and bad behavior of her ex-boyfriend. Tong, mentioned by Jing Tian in her confession, is a character in a TV series. After the TV series Tong was broadcast in 2021, Jing Tian became popular for a while. In other words, the sky-high money didn't make this female star popular, but after experiencing the tempering of life, Jing Tian showed her talent in this low-cost TV series. It is precisely because of Jing Tian, who has such a dramatic life, that her ex-boyfriend scandal has attracted so much attention. As the story unfolds, the Chinese media dug up old information about Zhang Jike's long history of gambling. Various pieces of evidence show that as early as 2004, 16-year-old Zhang Jike was involved in gambling. So far, how much the case has grown has far exceeded everyone's expectations. Many companies that had commercial endorsement cooperation with Zhang Jike terminated their contracts immediately, including Safeguard, Fa Toyota, and so on. On April 3rd, the Anta Sports brand official Weibo deleted Zhang's promotional materials, announcing, "At present, all cooperation with Zhang Jike has been terminated." According to media reports, Zhang didn't officially announce his retirement. So, does he still hold a position in the national team? And is he a member of the establishment? Chinese reporters interviewed the relevant departments, and some staff members said they weren't clear, while the team leader of the Chinese table tennis national team refused to respond. One of the more curious aspects of this case is how it could stay in the limelight for so long. The CCP has strict and efficient control over the web. If the authorities are intent on replacing a star like Zhang, who has been touted by the top party media as the face of the so-called national ball, then the information can be quickly blocked. It's like the song Sunny and Cheerful Kang Yi Ji that were played in the previous episode, which is just a grassroots song that nobody notices, but it was deleted from the Chinese LAN at the first opportunity. So, why does the government deliberately indulge in the development of this story? What's even more bizarre is that the Central Political and Legal Committee suddenly stepped into this lacy affair in the entertainment industry. On the evening of April 3rd, the WeChat official account of Central Political and Legal Affairs published a commentary article titled, "Zhang Jike occupies the news pages and 3 things should be investigated." Outside commentators believe that when the Political and Legal Committee is taken over so quickly, it's obvious that there is a strong political reason behind Zhang Jike's IOU affair, and it's more than just simple gossip news. In the Zhang Jike scandal, both the media and netizens have noticed a strange phenomena. That is, there are 3 people known to be involved: Zhang Jike, Jing Tian, and Mr. S. Zhang Jike is suspected of gambling and disseminating private videos of his ex-girlfriend, so it should be exposed. What's odd is that Jing Tian, as the victim, was directly named by the reporter. On the contrary, Mr. S, a criminal, was replaced by a letter to help him hide his true identity. So netizens started digging to find out who this Mr. S was. It seems that Mr. S is very well versed in the legalities of loan sharking, as he lends out money at 4 times the interest rate of banks, but doesn't qualify himself as a loan shark in the legal sense. In reality, he was able to roll a debt of 5 million yuan into an extortionate amount of 22 million yuan. One netizen put himself in Mr. S's shoes and said, Zhang Jike owed him money, but Jing Tian put him in jail, so we should hate Jing Tian more than him. So Mr. S definitely wants to get Jing Tian's name out there. This is indeed the case in Chinese society. After Zhang's case was exposed, many netizens wanted Jing Tian's private video, so netizens speculated that this reporter actually took the position here to defend Mr. S. Some netizens and Chinese media broke the news that Zhang's case involved many well-known Chinese table tennis players, including a well-known female player. To put it simply, the husband of this female team player is a real estate tycoon, and his relationship with Zhang hasn't been good. In 2021, the real estate tycoon posted on his social media a text message between himself and Zhang Jike. In the chat box, he scolded Zhang Jike, "USB, I hope your posturing can survive 2021. Although the message was immediately deleted, it was still screenshotted by someone. It was reported on Weibo that one of the property management representatives of the real estate tycoon was sentenced to prison in December 2020 for collecting loans using violence and other triad violations. It so happened that Mr. S was sentenced to 7 years in prison for extortion in December 2020. In terms of timing, they match up. In addition, there are also rumors that Mr. S is a junket operator. That is, a staff member who helps the casino introduce new customers, leads them to games, and at the same time introduces loan business to customers. Therefore, some netizens speculated that Zhang's enemies might have taken advantage of his gambling addiction and set up a trap to make him owe a huge debt. It's just that Zhang, despite obviously having a lot of money, doesn't want to pay it back. He adopted a bizarre method, using his girlfriend's private video to pay off the debt. At the same time, more materials were dug up. It turns out Zhang isn't the only well-known player on the Chinese table tennis team involved in gambling. For example, a Hong Kong media reported in 2017 that a casino in Singapore sued another player who served as the head coach of the national table tennis women's team at the time, trying to recover more than 2.5 million yuan in arrears. After the Zhang scandal was exposed, the reporter called the chairman of the Chinese Table Tennis Association but couldn't get through. It can be said that Zhang was cultivated by the chairman himself. He should know all about Zhang's gambling behaviors. It's reported that this chairman has lost contact. Losing contact in China is a sign of being taken away for investigation. There is also news that the former deputy director of the State Sports General Administration and the chairman of the Chinese Soccer Association is currently under investigation. One can probably assume that the continued flare-up of the case of Zhang Jike is linked to the fierce campaign against corruption in the sports community by Xi Jinping's government. Now let's take a look at actress Jing Tian. How did she manage to get Zhang's creditor sentenced to 7 years in prison? According to the journalist's account, Mr. S pleaded guilty after his arrest and apologized in court. He said he didn't get a penny from Miss Jing, and the court found him guilty of attempting a crime. However, in December 2020, the Court of First Instance ruled that Mr. S was guilty of extortion, and the court handed out a sentence of 7 years in prison and a fine of 50,000 yuan. Mr. S appealed, and the second instance held up the original sentence. Jing Tian's ex-boyfriend Liu Zheng was mentioned earlier. This gentleman founded a tailor-made agency for Jing Tian. This is public information, but other than that, his background in mainland China is virtually blank. The business information in Hong Kong has more bio of Mr. Liu. He used to be the director of Hong Kong Starlight International. The major shareholder of this company is named Liu Renkai, who seems to be an elderly member of the Liu family. The following tracking information may be a little difficult to understand for viewers who aren't familiar with the Chinese names and companies. It doesn't matter, you just have to not miss the conclusion at the end. Several of the companies founded by Renkai Liu were active around the turn of the millennium, with the latest being the chief consultant at Shenzhen Beike Biotechnology, a leader in the stem cell field. Several members of the Liu family held important positions such as directors in biotechnology companies not only in China, but their family business concentrated in the field of electronics and technology trade around 2000. They had participated in a company that China Mobile later acquired and exited around 2009, along with one other person, Mr. Zhang. The Liu family's gold digging in the electronics and science and trade field after the 90s was related to this Mr. Zhang. The relationship between the Liu family and the Zhang family is still there. Beike Biotech, the Liu family's company, also has a strategic shareholder called VCan Bio. It's backed by the owner of Tianjin VCan Land and the founder of Hick Vision. The private equity fund managed by this duo was once a strategic shareholder of Wanda Commercial. On the eve of the IPO of Wanda Commercial in 2014, the investment banking arm under China Construction Bank CCB International transferred part of its shares to the two bosses respectively, and for which CCB International sacrificed the interests of small and medium shareholders. And then the founder of Hick Vision transferred the shares of Wanda in his hands to the fund managed by Mr. Zhang. As previously mentioned, Hong Kong media Apple Daily reported that Liu Zhang was also a shareholder of Wanda Group. Now comes the conclusion. What is the deal with Mr. Zhang? His Chinese name is Zhang Jike, and his English name is Jeffrey Zhang. He is a director or independent director of dozens of listed companies. Imagine who can serve as a director of dozens of listed companies. He is the son of former Chinese Vice Premier Zhang Jike. Jeffrey Zhang's father was a close ally of former CCP leader Jiang Zemin. In 2002, before Jiang Zemin retired from the political arena, he arranged for Zhang Jike to join the political bureau of the Central Committee and served as the vice premier of the State Council in March of the following year. That is to say, behind the actress Jing Tian, there was a circle of force. Her ex-boyfriend Liu Zheng has a close relationship with the Zhang family, and the Zhang family is the cronies of the former party leader Jiang Zemin. Here we can see that behind a trending story about a sports celebrity and an entertainment actress, there is a deep dark secret, and the network of intertwined factions in the top echelons of the Chinese Communist Party is in turmoil.